What's up, everybody? Welcome to Arkives. Excited to be here today. I'm your host, Matthew Pomara. Joining me, we got a action-packed lineup today. First, our returning champion, Chris Vaccaro. We've got our host, as well as the producer of the show, the indomitable Tino Patino. And I think our longest tenured ARC media personality, I would say, the one and only Sydney Colleran. So, Sydney, welcome to the show. This is great to have you.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me. That was
I
some
believe,
intro. Opening beginning video.
I think that's true, right? So I think you are now the longest tenured.
I think so. Maybe.
So yeah,
pretty crazy.
So great. So it's awesome to have Sid with us as well. All right, so let's jump right in. We've got a lot of stuff we want to cover today. 2026, new year, new beginning. Look, at the heart of everything we do is growth and student growth. So let's talk about academic awesomeness.
It's everyone keeps describing January as this. Either it's too long, it's taking forever, or I think in our case, it's a blur. There's so much going on. There's so much going on as we're trying to build this thing and, make clients happy and tell their story and just never lose sight of the core value of what we're trying to do, which is storytelling. And there are so many things happening every day with every client. There's just really good visibility in classroom activities from the school district perspective. And something as simple, like you're seeing on the screen there, Lil Bear, right? That is a simple, harmless, organic story that there's actually a service dog at Sachem High School East. And it's, trained and owned by one of the guidance counselors there. And I had met Little Bear a month or two ago. I gathered some video. I was going to
get him on the show.
We're leading towards something big here with this little dog. And I was just going to tell the story of the dog because it's cool. There's a service dog. It's fun. It's fluffy. I got great video of the dog running around the floor, chasing a tennis ball, whatever. Put that aside. The guidance counselor then says, hey, I've entered Little Bear in a competition for America's cutest dog. And that's a cue for me to go, all right, we have to drive votes. We have to drive engagement. We need the entire Sachem community to come out and vote for this dog. And then I'm like, okay, my initial reaction is always awesome, here to help. I'll share it. I'll create custom graphics. I'll put up nice stuff to make it engaging. I'll remind people every other day. So it's not too much, social harassment, but it's like, hey, do this. It's cool. There'll be a cash prize and notoriety and Sachem gets on the map, yada, 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 all the great stuff that I'm here for. Sure enough, the dog gets out of the top 25 and gets in the top 20 and gets in the top 15. And then before I know it, I'm like, whoa, the dog is a special guest at the Board of Education meeting. And the rest of it, I'm going, this is perfect for engagement. I'm going to get votes. I'm going to get video views and impressions because nobody's going to care about what actually happens at the board meeting now. They're going to care about the video of the dog. So the dog has taken a life of its own. It's in the top 15. Donnie Walton is all over this dog, talking about it on social. So we got to keep pushing the votes and making sure Little Bear gets to the next round. But it's fun because it's something so basic, right? It's actually not a classroom story. It's not a sports story. It's not something that happens every day, but that's what we do. We take those little moments and blow them up and make them really exciting for everybody and continue to tell those types of engaging moments that I don't want them to be taken for granted. So that's what we're here for. And that's a fun little small item of January's been crazy, but Little Bear, keeps us grounded in things that we do.
Yeah, you're going to have to send us the information so we can vote too. I think he's got my vote.
Every day.
I'll look into it. Yeah, I definitely agree with the small moment anecdote you have there. Because I've noticed the big stories, those are pretty easy to cover. You hear about those pretty immediately. People are like, oh, did you hear about this? Did you hear about this? You find it, but it's really the small things that I've not struggled with, but definitely have to reach a little more for. That's why when I walk through any building, my head's on a swivel, oh, I hear a kid laugh. Why are they laughing? Let me go find them. But I guess which is I find more fun, I think, especially when you're finding a little dog like that or a little kid just like I don't know, he just figured out what 2 + 2 is. Like that's just as exciting to me, I think. But yeah, there's big moments too. So, yeah, here is like I said, big moments. We had 4 Regeneron Science Talent Search scholars
Wow.
this year. Yeah, these kids are so smart. I filmed interviews with each of them that I've been posting this week on the Instagram. And just listening to them talk, just having them tell me what their title of their project was completely a different language to me. So impressive. And people are definitely enjoying kind of getting to hear their voice. Last year we had 5, and what I did was I did more of like a newsletter for that. And I think this year I definitely wanted to switch that up and have the students actually speak for themselves, and they can really, explain what they did, because it's so much cooler what they have to say than what I have to say. So I think that's
always get a kick at, like, go back to that slide. They did a science project on the aortic valve, the calcification of aortic valves.
It's insane.
Like
I couldn't even understand what that was.
Yeah, I can't read that. I can't read that.
There's no point. I just skip over it.
I'm not going to pretend. I have no idea what that means.
At
Oh
15,
my God.
16 years old, I was happy to write stories about sachem hockey. Okay, like that was my aortic valve research. Was like, how was Gary Reinhardt doing on the second line on offense? And Gary Reinhardt around the corner from me, played sachem hockey in 2003, 2004. But like another level of kid, another level of brain waves that, like, we're all good, we're all smart, we're all successful, but
not that smart.
Oh my God, no.
I know.
Don't let me anywhere near these labs that these kids are in. Seriously.
Yeah, I got a gentleman's C in science. So I went and moved the teacher's furniture at his house.
I think the perfect example is Cindy sent me these awesome photos and things to content to put into the slides that we put in the overlays. And I looked at this and I said, wow, she did a great job designing them, which she did. But I didn't even try to read all of the awesome stuff the kids, which I should have. But like now it's like crazy to see and hear about, because it goes to show. And that's the best part about it too, right? Is like we're able to showcase it not only in an engaging way, but also to what the kids are doing, as Sydney mentioned, like all of the awesome stuff within the classrooms itself. And then we're compiling it with awesome storytelling, visuals, graphics, video aspects that no one else is doing.
Sid, what was the 4,000 giveaway?
Oh yeah, I'll get into that. So January, the most exciting part of January for me is we hit 4,000 followers on the Instagram.
Let's go.
So yeah, very exciting stuff. So we did a giveaway for all of our followers. We did one last year too, which it didn't go as well as it's going this year, because we're giving out a homework pass as the reward. So I think more people are inclined to enter. I think we have I think I had 50 kids enter, and I'm gonna pick tomorrow, so they're still entering.
You should just really make up stuff. Don't even tell the principals or the superintendents to be like, we're giving away parking spaces, we're giving away Regents grades, passing.
Well, that's how I felt with this. So I was talking to Tony, my superintendent, about what we should give away this year and how we should do it. And I think he brought up the idea of the homework pass, and then we kind of went up with other ideas. And then as we were getting closer, I was like, how serious were you about the homework pass? Because I'm nervous to post this, because what if teachers yell at me and they're like, who gave this girl authority to give out a homework pass? And he was like, Sydney, I'm the superintendent. I'm in charge. I have the authority here. I was like, okay, you're so right. Let me post it. So I don't know if I'll get any emails from teachers being like, why do they have this? But we're doing it. So.
He just to put it into perspective for those who are new to the show or new to Herrick's, the superintendent is one of the people who totally inspired me to get involved in the social media space and technology and bring it in as a tech, because I was just I'd been social media friends with him for so long before we actually met in person, similar to me and Chris. So. Yeah, and he's a great leader. I consider him a good friend, and like I said, I've sat in his office where we 2 hours passed, and his secretary came in and was kind of like, "You have to leave now. You've been here way too long." So so pretty awesome.
Yeah, he's great, and he makes it so easy for me to do all these fun things, because he's so down to do anything, any idea that we each have, we go to each other and we make it happen. So it's definitely fun. someone, so I'm stationed in the tech office mainly, and she says that whenever she sees us talking, she's like, you guys are always giggling and like scheming. I was like, yeah, I guess we are, but that's what keeps it fun. So
You know what I love?
get it done.
We were just talking before we went live on this with Sydney of like, it's going to be a fun conversation. You'll see, it's going to be organic. You'll see it's actually going to go longer than we expected. You'll see. What I'm most happy about or excited about is we're doing social giveaways to raise followers and engagement. We're doing video. We're doing interviews. We're doing real-time coverage that relates to both academics and engagement. Everything from people writing about heart disease to dogs winning contests. You're not getting this from your everyday mom and pop PR company. You're not getting this from the antiquated vehicles of like, let's just get it up there because we have to. No, we operate by having engaging conversations with our clients, our partners. I don't even like the word client anymore. Our partner in the trenches is being creative, laughing, sharing ideas, having strategic conversations. And we just showed you a little snippet. We try to do this once a month, every few weeks. There's probably 1,000 examples just between the three of us on this call, not to mention a couple of other teammates of ours out there on the island. We're doing an incredible job. And I want to pause as a reflection, forget myself, just for Tino and Sydney and Danielle and Lauren, incredible job. And I'm just so bullish on this vibe, this creativity, this ingenuity. And I think I always say we're barely scratching the surface because there's so many tools at our fingertips to do even better and more. But that's where we can level set and say, okay, what's working, what's not. And then we'll figure it out. But just awesome job. Awesome.
I'm glad you mentioned the team because here they are.
Wow, that was not planned, that segue.
I didn't
He hid that
Oh
at the
my gosh.
pre-production meeting. That was
yeah.
the pre-production.
Yep. So awesome elevator shot with all of us. And then,
Oh
of
my God,
course,
that's
on the
funny.
right, you can see Sydney just dominating her LinkedIn game.
Yeah. So that was great. So fill us in on that. What is that?
My LinkedIn game addiction.
Yeah, you got it. Perfect time.
So, okay, this casually came up when we had our last meeting. When was that? In December when we all got together when that elevator shot came? I think I very casually was like, oh, do you guys play the games on LinkedIn? And everyone was kind of like, no, I don't even know what you're talking about. And so every day they have kind of like the Wordle or Connections. They have games. They have a mini Sudoku. They have games every day that you can play. And obviously I love games and I'm very competitive. So every day when I get the notification, I hop on, I play. You can see how you score and compare in comparison to your connections. So the first thing I do is see if I beat everyone. And then the second thing I do is you can see if you improved your college score. So I see if I made University of South Carolina go up the leaderboard. And yeah, it's just a little fun little brain break throughout my day. And I encourage everyone to play.
Awesome. Let's go. Yeah, look at that.
That
notification.
Clearly passionate about it.
I get that notification, and I only know one person that plays the game, so I have to hop on and
watch. It's about to be a lot more after this.
Yeah, this is good promo. Speaking of promo, I'm going to talk about Montauk here for a second, especially when it comes to academics and awesomeness. Last Archives, you saw me get fired up, put on the gold jacket, and talk about how we were able to pass the bond, over there, and the referendum project and the renovation project next steps that's getting underway. So it's really cool to be able to be a part of that and to see, the foundation taking place of everything that's already there, but the new things that are going to be happening and the discussions being had. And now finally that community can move forward with some of the things that they've been talking about for a while now. 8th grade speech day was super cool. Just something to where, I was able to sit through all of them, and it was really cool because I'm sitting there and I'm texting Superintendent Principal Josh Odom like, man, one of the speeches was about how chewing gum is beneficial for you. And so I was chewing gum in the moment, and I texted him like, this is great. And he was chewing gum too. And he said, maybe this speech day can serve as a way to have Montauk School amend some of their rules and guidelines. Maybe kids can now chew gum on Fridays. And that student now who was able to, give that speech was a big proponent in having that happen. Another video that's doing really well on the account right now is Montauk boys basketball team, just for the fact that, their season ended on a tough note, but it was the coach who gave a really nice farewell message to the boys at the end. They're the eighth graders there that are moving up to the high school. And it's cool because when I'm able to highlight something like that, where it's not necessarily about the boys' play or when they played great, but it was more so about the fact that the coach really cared about the players, and he was able to showcase that. Just asked them, what do you feel about the guys and how they improved this season? And he gave a great message. And not only showcasing this is it great to hear and see, but it gives alumni the ability, community members, the ability to go on the account to see that happening and be hyped up about it. I mean, for lack of a better term, they're passionate. They love it. They love their community. And I think that was something that came through in the comments, in the likes, in the views. And to me, I love all those stats and the analytics, but to me, that means we're doing a good job. That means we're doing the extra, and that showcases our care that comes with each and every school district and partner and client we have, but not even clients anymore. Like Chris said, they're friends and they're one of us, in terms of doing all of this.
Awesome. Well, all right, catch us up too, because this was I saw a thing on X or Twitter about Mr. Snow Miser making a miraculous comeback after like 4 years of mediocrity. So Northeast got pounded with snow. So what else was going on?
Yeah, snow days for us are not an opportunity to relax and lay by the fire. It's, letting people know what's happening, A, as the storm may be approaching, B, when they finally know if there's going to be a snow day, or C, I noticed sometimes, hey, we're not having a snow day, but we're actually open. So we have to now communicate when they're open as well. So it extended far beyond that, though, in this cycle. It was an opportunity for in the case of the schools, the districts to thank their staff, the buildings and grounds and maintenance crews, custodial as well, were hustling. And pretty much this is universal across Long Island. I mean, you're seeing some ice slip in East Mauritius pictures and video there. That's Dennis O'Hara.
I was going to say, was that Dennis O'Hara? Is he driving the plow?
So that's the superintendent of the school district. Dr. O'Hara was out there each day during the snowstorm in the morning. He was out. I mean, he'll be the first to tell you, like, he was not doing a bulk of the work by any means, but he was checking on his guys and communicating with the team.
Yeah, bringing coffee. He's the kind of guy that brings everybody coffee.
Yeah, and yes, it's a photo op, but he was out there in the elements, helping, making sure they had what they needed, and being a leader. And we did several posts for our clients across the board, from Sydney to Tino, myself, and again our other teammates. It became a trend across Long Island, even places that we don't yet represent. I saw the thank you posts. I saw some video, some still pictures. Some of our superintendent clients and partners, now they're starting to get in the, I guess, in the mindset of how we operate. They're like, hey, can you put a reel together with these images? And I'm like, yes, I can. Mm-hmm. I can make this come to life for you. It doesn't have to just be a gallery, which I don't always do. I'll just take a bunch of pictures and make them move and put some music to it. And so, yeah, it's a good storm for, frankly, if you look at the numbers and the engagement and the views on the post when you announce a school day, a snow day, or a school closing, that stuff does as well as anything ever.
Yeah. I mean, again, I'm significantly older than everybody on this call, but we had to listen to WBLI radio and listen and pray your school was the one. So, one Sagaponic, you're like, wait, did I miss Sachem? Like they,
Yeah.
So you're just like, oh no, did they say it? And then, you couldn't get to it. So, I know Dean and Dennis were out there really helping their guys and trying to be out there. Dean Middleman from East Mauritius. So awesome. That's pretty cool. And like you said, that's when our work starts, when that part, and now the communication strategy is just so much different. And, that people are looking to district socials, district websites. They're not listening to the radio anymore.
Quite frankly, they're not watching News 12. They're not. You're not waiting till it pops up on the news to see.
Yeah, on the running scroll at the bottom.
Yeah.
And my team, when I was the vice president of News 12, my team ran the running scroll. And it's funny because in some cases when there's breaking news and it's not something that's like as basic as a school closure, and it's real like serious news that you need to be informed. Okay, I understood it. There was people on our team that were so antiquated, they thought that people still lived and died by the bottom line. And it's like, well, they're getting updates through the parent communication portals from the district, which is timed almost exactly with the social media if it's done properly.
Yeah.
Really need to look at you on TV. It's not even a reminder. It's just like, why do they even have it? So I find it funny. We're in this evolutionary period because people our age and maybe within that 5 to 10 year range are looking at that going, oh, that's how it was when we were younger. But my kids don't care about anything on TV. They're like, oh, did I get a text message? Did the district?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it's me sending that message. So you don't have school tomorrow, and before everybody else, like actually telling my own.
They're going to start posting on their Instagram before you get it out there.
They're going to try to get scooped. The Carroll kids are going to try to scoop us.
Yeah.
Awesome tunnel system
Our
they got over
competitors.
there.
Yeah, and all competitors, trying to scoop the company.
One thing I wanted to mention too that Chris had brought to our attention was being able to give the community an ability to share their snow day with us, submit their photos, videos, their content. That was such a cool and awesome creative idea that he gave out to our team, because it provided not only the ability to create content in a day where there's you can't go to school, you can't be there, and sure, you can be there and get photo ops of the guys cleaning up and the staff and crew helping out from that fashion. What about from the students? What are they doing? And to see that, and to see I got a lot of interaction with different families and different kids that were obviously enjoying their day off from school, but also staying in touch with us, and being able to have that happening too. And from one thing that I also like from a content standpoint that we provide, right, is not only our services that you've seen so far that we've highlighted, but also just, this happened for me specifically at Montauk, being able to be attentive and be aware and be ready to post no matter what. For instance, I had posted that Montauk was operating on a 2-hour delay schedule the Tuesday after the snowstorm, and that was initially what had happened. And then they changed their mind. Josh Odom did, and he said the roads are too bad. We got to keep everyone safe. Obviously, safety is key. And it went from a 2-hour delay to remote learning. And I thought it was cool because it made me feel like I was breaking a news story. I got that up right when he told me to, right when it was official. And you saw the interaction on social. People liking the story, liking the post, and being informed now what is going on with their school, how their students will be learning for the next day. And I thought that was such a cool experience because not only were we on top of it, but that was at 10 p.m. when he made that call. It was something that maybe, other people who, obviously no one's doing what we're doing here for our partners here in our school districts, but also B, it's like I was excited to do that for him. I was talking with him throughout the day with you every step of the process, and something like how big the winter storm was, I'm glad we were able to turn it into a winter wonderland for our clients.
Awesome. All right, let's talk a little branding and identity and curation.
Yeah, this is where it's a broad bucket. There's a lot of great things going on. We have from a media relations sharing stories about our partners. There's a really good story to tell about the emergency alert system in Remsenburg, and so good that the Southampton Press wrote a really great feature about it. And then Remsenburg, like many school districts, are also utilizing the Anxious Generation book that was written about social emotional learning and screens and devices and social media and such. So the cover of the New York State School Board Association newsletter and newspaper featured Remsenburg's professional development talks about that book. And likewise, I think we mentioned it last time, we're now also producing and publishing a podcast for East Mauritius about that book. And so that has taken a life of its own, both video and audio. And that's Kyle and Michelle on the side there. And so just so many unique stories, that we're helping get out there. It's distributing those stories beyond the walls of the community. It's a bit of media relations. It's a bit of pitching. And, it doesn't take much when you realize the stories are so good. When they almost tell themselves, and there's so much value for the community itself, then of course, regular traditional media want to write about it and talk about it. So yeah, it's been a good stretch here for a lot of reasons. And actually, some of these are overlapping with some of our other topics. I want to actually call out Lucia Broccoleri on the left there. She's a student at Sachem North on WSHR. This was actually a weather post, so I don't want to go back to that topic too much, but she was doing her own meteorology reports during the storm. So not only were we posting about, what was happening with the school closure and such, but we had our student journalists telling the story from their homes, in their backyards, giving updates about how many inches, what to expect in the coming hours, and being fun and engaging with it as well. And then, of course, Alyssa Tappan, who I've spoken about before on the right side, talk about branding, has become the face of WSHR and Sachem Communications as a student. And she covered the Suffolk County dual meet wrestling championships between Sachem and East Islip. Sachem beat East Islip and now heads to the state tournament for the dual meets tomorrow, actually. And she covered it, did a news story, spoke to coaches, spoke to athletes, spoke to the guy who clinched it in the final heavyweight match of the evening. And it was
that guy's tough. I saw him.
He's 30-0. He hasn't allowed.
He's an absolute monster.
He's not allowed to play this year. He's a total beast. His name is Valdi Pierre. He's a senior heavyweight wrestler. He's a lineman on the football team. So, so these stories are told by students under our purview. This is what, talk about, this is brand building, right? The brand is the student. The brand is the opportunity. We help facilitate the story and also, in my case, especially the journalism education. But, man, I'm just so proud of these. I don't want to say kids. They're beyond many of the graduate level students I have taught at Hofstra. They have surpassed my expectations. They're in their teen years, and they're operating better than some professionals I've seen in their mid to late 20s.
Awesome.
That's not because of me. That's because they have the ability, and I've been able to steer them in the right direction, and the environment has dictated the opportunity for them to succeed, just as it did for Tino and myself in that specific environment. And I'm sure.
Look, it's mentorship, right? Yeah, we provide a lot of mentorship. Look, we have, the Mineola kids. They'll be the new set of arc turns. They have a whole different. They have a bunch of stuff they're going to produce. So they're going to continue what's in the name, but they also have a tech weekly that they want to do, or tech monthly. They're not sure yet. So they're looking to produce it. We did have some big news too. One of our clients, Gersio & Gersio, with the acquisition of John Gross joining the firm. For those, again, who are kind of, interested in the education space, John Gross is 40 plus years working in education and municipal law. I hate to even put this out in the universe, but it's like Aaron Judge joining the Dodgers. Like that's that's what a big deal was. Chris and I worked on this on Christmas Eve, and we also worked on it on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day when we were going to make the initial. So they put the word out because it was still, I know there was still some stuff going on. Also, too, we got to announce 2 of the new partners. So just outstanding stuff. And then I think one of the coolest things, you go to the graphic again, Tino.
We got this one.
One of the coolest things, right? We get on a check-in call with Dr. Jorgensen and Dr. Butera, and then Dr. Jorgensen just makes us go on and do a guided conversation on leadership.
Awesome.
It was one of the coolest experiences. I can't say enough about Jorgensen Learning Center. What an amazing organization. I'm grateful to have them. But Dr. Jorgensen was phenomenal. He really he walked us through and he got us going. So just cool stuff.
I thought that was awesome to be able. Well, I was just gonna say, because I was able to. I edit some of the stuff and put them out on social for JLC Learning, and it was funny because I was, what's this one? I got sent to me, put it into our clipping service, and there it is. It's our guys. It's the coolest collab I've ever seen. So I thought that was very cool from an editing perspective.
talk about like totally organic. It just happened, and we're like, oh shoot, I feel like I'm being quizzed here on different leadership methods. I'm like, I'm glad
I
I'm
was
going.
nervous. I was actually nervous because
Me
he was like,
too.
well, I said, what we should do is have this conversation. He goes, well, okay, let's do it now. And I'm like, well, no, like right now. And he's like, yeah, we'll just do it now. Let's roll. Let's roll. And he's like, and he just starts recording. And then we're sitting there and we're like, oh my goodness. I'm like, what? And then it was amazing. Just
He sits back like this. I'm like, oh, dude. Now I gotta really lock in on this conversation. I just like answer an email in my peripheral screen.
It was pretty wild. Just an amazing experience. All right, what else we have here, team? We're running up against the time here.
Yeah, so one thing I did want to mention, as you guys can see, we're in my East Hampton badge right now, came straight from the school, hopped on the Archive show. I couldn't mention this for academic awesomeness, but I saved it for now, brand identity, because that's what they're creating over there. We have student spotlights. They have their own broadcast system and shows over there that they do, similar to WSHR. So that's very cool to see. And one video right now that's going viral for them and for us is about Bonic Brew. Bonic Brew is such an awesome thing that I got to experience and talk with the teachers over there that are running that. And really what it is for the life skills students with special needs that are able to come in and have interactions and get vocal training and have the ability to talk with their peers and be able to give consumers food and work with cash registers and everyday life skills that they need that, training for. And it's awesome to see that happening. And not only is it something that the school embraces, but the community as well. I mean, at the time of this recording, the video may have 10,000 views, which for us in a new account is something that I'm really proud of. And it's something that I was just very lucky and fortunate to be able to be a part of East Hampton now and showcase everything that they have going on. Like I said, today was such a great day. Everyone sort of bought in, if you will, and wanting to showcase their events, showcase their students in the best way, highlight all the programs they have going on. I probably talked to over 20 kids today, over 10 teachers. Like, we just keep rolling and rolling with the content, and that's what it's all about. Like, I talked to the principal. She's like, are you okay being this busy? I was like, I love it. I'm running from class to class. So that is really something special.
Awesome. What else? Anything else? Any closing? I know we got to hit on one more thing, but
Just
you got anything else you want to hit on?
This is what I was thinking earlier, and Tino, you kind of just mentioned this, how you're so busy all the time, like running from school to school. I think a big thing for me has just don't say no to anything and make sure the teachers know that they can tell you anything, because there are so many times where a teacher, like, I'll walk into a classroom, she's like, we're not really doing anything special. And I'm like, no, like, it's all special. What are you doing? Right. And so I just think making yourself available to run around and be so open to doing that is such a crucial part of what we're doing, because, I'm not locked in like, oh, I can't post because I already posted your school. Like, no, I'll show up and do it. So I think just being all over the place is super important here.
Awesome. All right. Next. Boom. So we had, start the year off right. We did our SKO at Wind Creek, which was kind of cool. It's on the site of the old Bethlehem steel mill, and just a great time, chance to meet our colleagues. We also, Chris and I, got to launch our executives in tracksuits talking in the car show, so that was kind of fun. And yeah, just a great team. We're really excited at what's next for ARC, and keep an eye on us on LinkedIn.
I think allowing the rest of the company at ARC to understand and see and get visibility into what we're doing from a media and communications perspective was really powerful. I was honored to be there and share that message with them. And I told you, I open up with, I'm not like the rest of you, and that's a good thing. And yes, I have actually a digital and a technical background, but I'm doing some vastly different things than the other executives in the company. And I think, and Matt could correct me if I'm wrong, I think they were all very open and, engaged and enthused based on what I was saying, which was sharing, a lot of what I do, and Tino and Sydney and our other teammates are doing. And I also left there empowered, knowing there's a really good, strong, hungry company that's working really hard to succeed in several fronts. Proud to be a part of it, proud to be a part of a company that had, the meaning of the Ark and how it was formed and the way that, we're all connected in a certain way. It was powerful to be there. And like any other moment in my life, I took out my phone and started recording other guest speakers and creating content. And what that was shared on
went to work. Yeah, that was great.
I was like, I'm grabbing these people, pulling them in the hallway saying, give me a 90-second update. What did you just talk about? They're like, what? Like, give me a 90-second update. What did you just talk about? And that was it, and we put a couple of those videos up. And I think we need to do more of that, and it's going to be fun. And there's a lot of great things happening at Ark. That's the bottom line.
I think it's cool because I know I'm not the best math guy, but I can say that this plus this equals this.
Wow.
Absolutely. That was good. That was good,
Yes,
math.
come on.
Yeah, I can definitely I know math is definitely not your strong suit.
Looked right to me.
So no, absolutely right. And look, we're excited to come here. We're blessed to be able to tell this story every month. We want you to continue to like us. If you like what you heard today, make sure you like this video. Also subscribe so you can get the latest updates, because not only that, you'll have some of our student updates on the Ark Media YouTube site. So yeah, thank you for joining Arkives. I want to thank Sydney for coming on. Didn't I tell you it would go fast? I mean, we of course ran over
It did go
again.
fast.
We ran over again. I looked down. I'm like, oh, we're at almost 30 minutes already. So
We're actually at almost 40, right?
True. Thank you guys for having me. It was fun.
Awesome. We're grateful to have you. Tino, great job again. Chris, I'll give you the last word.
I'm excited because we aren't even scratching the surface. The conversations we're having in the marketplace have become contagious and exciting. And I feel really good about what we're doing because it's impactful. It's driven through servant leadership. We are serving communities. We are serving industries. We are serving partners. And I'm really looking forward to the next set of conversations and building upon what we're already starting to do in a really meaningful way. So let's make it happen. Let's keep on steering the ship in the right direction. And I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else.